Welcome, Mr. Bob Chicarillo. All right, how we doing, fans here at the Olympia? Great to be back again this year, folks. We celebrate Joe Weider's 52nd Olympia this weekend. Of course, we've got a great lineup, one of the deepest lineups probably since the mid-90s, so we're looking forward, obviously, to this press conference. The 212s, also very deep lineup this year. We've got records that are looking to be broken. Of course, Phil Heath looking for number 6. Lex Lewis looking for number 5. Big change this year, folks. For those that have been here in the past, traditionally the 212 prejudging has been located in the Expo Hall Friday. We've changed that this year. The 212 will be making their Olympia prejudging debut at the Orleans Arena on the big stage Friday night. Perennial threat to the title, Lexitron, Sean Roden. Former Olympia champions, sharper every year, the Blade, Dexter Jackson. your 5-time Olympia reigning and defending champ. Give it up for the gift, Heath. Folks, I introduce to you your 2016 Joe Weider Olympia lineup. All right, folks, a great lineup, of course, we have in store. You gotta have a great co-host to go on with a great show. Please welcome your co-host for the press conference, DJ Dennis the Menace J.
Wow. Welcome to Las Vegas, everybody. Wow is all I can say right now, because looking at the lineup this year, being on this stage for 10 years myself, and especially 2016, looking down the lineup and looking at the person that made me start bodybuilding, that made me go to the gym for the very first time, because I saw pictures of him and I figured I want to look like him. Welcoming him back here, Kevin Levrone. Thanks, Kevin, for coming back. This is the man that made me start bodybuilding, and this is the truth. Now, Bob, what do you think, my man?
I think this is going to be one of the most exciting Olympias to date. DJ, of course, history will be made this weekend at the Olympia, and we've got some great storylines here today. We're going to give the first line to the champ, the first word and the last word, of course. Phil Heath in the house. All right, champ. This is not unfamiliar territory for you, but this year, 5-time champ instead of 4-time champ, looking to tie Dorian Yates with number 6 this year. Obviously, as people know, Phil, very vocal on social media. He's out there with the fans, whether they love him, hate him, or anything in between. So, welcome back to the Olympia stage, champ.
It's great to be back. Definitely want to say thank you all for coming out. I know that this is not an event that just happens with people just in the United States. People from all over the world. We have competitors from all over, but also the fans from all over the world. I really appreciate you guys for taking your time, your resources, and contributing to our sport of bodybuilding. It means the world to me and all these amazing athletes. You know, I'm just really excited to be here. This is now, you know, another title defense. Every year is a new challenge, a new part of my journey, a new phase of life. And, you know, I'd like to follow up in what Dennis James said, and, you know, give shout out to Kevin for actually talking the talk and walking the walk. You know, when I first started bodybuilding, Kevin Levrone was definitely one of my, you know, initial idols because of his musculature, his symmetry, his proportion, and all these amazing things. And I know on social media throughout my career, it's been repeatedly over and over and over again, virtual pros downs and stuff like that of Kevin and I, because we share some similarities. Now we actually get to see it. I give him a lot of credit because of the fact that 13-year layoff, I mean, damn, I don't think any of us could do that. And that's what bodybuilding really is saying, you know what, age ain't nothing but a number. We go through all different types of adversity. We may give up, but, you know, we get back up and we decide that, you know, we're gonna handle this on our terms. And, you know, this is a living proof that, you know, we got some young guys, we got some, you know, rookies, we got some older guys. And it's great for the sport, it's great for you, the fans. I know you guys are really excited to see us getting on Friday, Saturday night. So it's just, you know, I'm pumped, I'm happy.
All right, thank you, Phil. Well, speaking of Kevin, let's get right to the champ. Kevin, 13 years removed from the stage, you decided this year you were going to make your return to the Olympia stage. We're obviously very happy to have you here and back in competition mode. Now, you told me a couple of months ago that you were looking to bring back a 90s physique to a modern era stage. Have you achieved that in your preps for the Olympia?
Well, first I would like to say this is a great honor to be back here on this stage, so I want to say thank you to the organization. Thank you, Bob, thank everyone here, because this sport is certainly built on Ben and Joe Weider's dreams and and integrity, and it just runs really, really deep. So as I look around this room, I see Raphael, I see Rob, I see Steve, I see so many years and years of hard work and integrity that goes behind not just being here, but what do you do when you walk off the stage? And I was just taught so much from Ben and Joe that you know, champions, you're not a champion just only on the stage, but you're a champion as well. When you leave this stage, what do you represent? What do you want to be known for? So for me, I just thank God for that opportunity. Thank God for this, the IFBB, and allow me again to come back and to present myself to the world and also the fans. So I want to say, first of all, thank you guys, and thank you for all the support and the fans around the world in this great organization.
Thank you, Kevin. Talking about the 90s era, there's one more athlete on this stage that's competed in the 90s, that's been on this stage since '99, that placed second last year to the champ Heath, Dexter Jackson, at 47 years old. So when we talk about eras, we have another representative of the 90s, because his first Olympia was in '99, am I correct?
That's correct.
Now, listening to what's been happening to build up this Olympia with Kevin coming back, what does Dexter Jackson say to all this? I mean, you arguably had a few fans last year saying you could have won the show last year.
A lot.
Now, that must have been probably the biggest motivation you ever had since you've been on this stage getting ready for this Olympia. What is Dexter Jackson saying to all of this?
What do you mean, with Kevin come back and all that stuff?
No, well, yeah, they're saying bringing the 90s back and Kevin coming back out of retirement, being, you know, a little bit older than the average athlete on here.
Yeah, he's old. Older than me. But I just want to say, Kev, it is such an honor, man, to have competed against you over the years, and to actually, you know, I kept going. Okay, you know, it's so emotional right now. Excuse me, you know, because this guy's like an idol to me. So. So let me settle down. Let me say this again. I'm sorry. All right, so Kevin, back to what I was saying. It was an honor competing against you in so many years back in the day. And it's amazing seeing you come back after a 13-year layoff. It's just unbelievable. I have nothing but good things to say about Kevin. So all you guys out there who've been trying to get me to say something, you know, negative, it ain't gonna happen. Okay, because like I said, I look up to you like my father, so I'm not gonna.
That'll be the first 5-year-old dad.
This is like a roast. But like Dexter's saying, you know,
Let me finish.
hold on, I just want to say this, man. It's like family, you know what I mean? IFBB it's family and it runs deep, you know, back in those eras, man. So
yeah. So, you know, we used to all hang out and, you know, when we go overseas and stuff, it's not like that anymore. You know, we were family when we went overseas. And now you get the guys now, you know, they win a couple dollars and they like, you know, can't tell me nothing. Like King Kamala used to do. You remember that?
absolutely, yeah, it's like one of the beautiful things about the sport, you know. I mean, Flex was talking earlier. You know, it's like we were there for each other back in the day, you know. So I hope it continue. I hope that it will continue, or at least come back, you know, after this, this weekend.
But to finish up what I was saying, you know, it's an honor to compete against you, and also to be able to compete in this area as well. So you got some great champions from both eras. Me being in both, so I'm a champion both. So I'm just saying, it's just. Shut up, Phil. See, I'm a jokester. When you guys that don't know me, this is the real me. It took many years for me to show you this. Now I'm here.
Well, for any of us that know you, Dex, know that's exactly how you are and have been for years. You told me yesterday, if you were to win this thing, you'd hang them up after you won. You ain't going nowhere.
I'm not gonna lose.
You know, I put in a lot of work, man, since last year. Phil knows me. He know, I mean, me, Phil, we go way back, man, and Phil knows me. He was the same way with me. He wanted to beat me so bad when I was whooping his behind. He would call me up, I would be in the Popeyes now. Yeah, let me get a 5-piece chicken. What are you doing?
Let me get a chicken and riblet dinner with some black-eyed peas, some corn and okra and this and that. I'm like, God dang, man, what are you, 8 weeks out?
He couldn't believe it. He said, man,
I got this, man. I'm like, damn, this guy's got some genetics.
Did you guys rehearse this?
No.
But it's an honor to be able to compete in both eras. Well, I've been through like 3 eras, so it's an honor to be in so many eras.
Well, it's good to see that you give that much respect to your 5-year-old dad. I didn't know that he is the most fertile 5-year-old I've ever seen. Kevin, awesome. Now, can the 90s or the 2000s, who's going to beat you? Yeah. Who's going to beat you?
Well, I'm interested to see on how Kevin's going to look since he took so long off. I mean, if Kevin comes back like Kevin, we might all be in trouble. You know, but I think I've been known to have the best genetics ever in the sport because I'm the blade. And I don't do no cardio, no abs, none of that stuff, so that's why I've lasted so long. But when everybody's saying, like, you know, well, Kevin's got the greatest genetics, and I'm like, well, why is he doing cardio 2 days out? I stopped 5 weeks out, I'm just saying.
I can already hear Kevin after he wins the show. Who your daddy?
That's what he'd be saying. Phil, is the 90s physique good enough to beat a 2016 physique?
We will see you on Friday and Saturday night. It's as simple as that. I am not going to get into this. I'm here to do a damn job. My job is to win number 6, tie Dorian Yates, and get the hell out of here. That is it. I come to do battle. I respect everybody. I'm excited. I know I look good, and I'll be able to prove it on Friday and Saturday night. That's it.
Well, before we get the debate of the eras, folks, before we move on, I want to give recognition to our 2 IFBB presidents sitting down in the front row. Please welcome Mr. Rafael Santoja and Mr. James Mannion. We talk about the 90s. These guys were around way before the 90s, and obviously up until, yeah, that's right, you, Jim. You don't look that old, but you're doing all right. You look good, Jim. You look good. All right, well, here's a guy who might have something to say about that. Sean Roden, clearly in the mix last year. Next, a lot of people say you possibly could have won last year. I heard more than a handful saying Sean Roden might have won last year. Welcome, Sean.
Thank you.
Well, Sean, you're clearly one of the guys that we talk about the mass monsters, we talk about the classic physique style, like Cedric. We'll get to Cedric in a moment. But you're clearly a guy that's pretty much right in between. You certainly got the muscle, but you also bring those classic lines. What improvements have you made this year to get you in front of Phil Heath?
Well, first and foremost, I'd like to thank you guys for coming out and showing support. Being an IFBB pro has always been a dream of mine, and you know, to be sitting up here with these great athletes, getting ready to go out here once again on Friday night. Came to you guys so excited I've been ever since stepping on stage last year. And with Kevin coming back, I've been a big fan of Kevin. We've lived 30 minutes away from each other back in Maryland, and Kevin has been a great friend of mine, and it's an honor to be able to step on stage next to a legend. As far as making improvement, I think I worked on everything. I mean, I didn't feel as if I lost last year. I think no matter walk away with the Sandow. I mean, I know I brought a package that, in my opinion, should have won. And it's just a matter of going back out here and presenting myself and, you know, showing what I've done.
Well, I remember you saying last year that you're going to beat Phil. You voiced it very openly right here. You were sitting where Dexter's sitting today, and you basically told Phil that you will beat him in almost every shot. Now, you lost not only to Phil, but also to Dexter last year. So now, What is your mindset, knowing that there's 2 guys you got to beat in order to win this title? What improvements have you made, and what is your, tell me, what do you beat these guys on this year? What do you think is your strong part? What makes you just beat these guys this year? What's different about Sean Ray? Sean Roden, not Sean Ray. I'm sorry,
Sean Ray, wow.
I'm here so much 90s, I'm all back in the 90s right now.
Flex, you want to make a comeback?
We'll see what happens with Kevin.
Well, again, last year, as I said, it was a challenge for me going out there, and made it quite clear, sitting there, that I didn't think Phil was going to be getting any posting. I'm going to make the same statement, but Kevin, Flex, I'm sorry.
And even you don't know who you're talking about. What?
Phil and Dexter. I mean, I've made enough improvement where I feel as if condition-wise, symmetry-wise, pose for pose, I mean, I would love to get a call out, just me and Phil.
We'd love to see that too. Don't we?
I think we could probably make that happen. I know Steve Weinberger, head judge, is in attendance today. Steve, can we look forward to that call out?
Sure.
Absolutely. Steve is here to please.
I'm confident enough to know that I did my homework, and I'm ready to go out and just get it on.
Well, D, some of the word has been out there this offseason. Of course, we've heard the same 3 or 4 names throughout. And of course, that's Sean Roden, Phil Heath, Dexter Jackson, Big Ramy, Ruli Winkler. We hear these names over and over and over. These are the guys to beat. These are the guys to beat. The one name you haven't heard too much of, though, is maybe a name that you should have been hearing about, and that's Cedric McMillan. Yes. All right, Ced, the one.
Testing, 1, 2. Okay, yeah.
Should your name be up there with these guys when they talk about people that are a threat to this Olympia title this year, Cedric?
Well, okay, I could give you a genuine answer, then I could give you an answer that people tell me I should say. Right?
No, listen. So this is the Olympia crowd. Let me tell you, they're not looking for PC, man. They want to hear from the heart. Isn't that right, guys?
Yeah. All right, so keeping it real from the heart, and I'll talk to Sean about this, and he been on my ass all year, ever since. Well, I got to this part, but I didn't get much farther than this part last year. And when he got the word that I was sick, he was like, "What? Cedric is," because we had a plan.
Actually, I said you should get out of the hospital and drive over here.
We had a plan. If I could get in that first call out, we was gonna tag team. We was gonna do the best we could to, try to out.
Get a block Phil out. What are you guys gonna do?
Trying to out pretty. I mean, I hit him high, and Sean hit him low or something. Trying to do what we could. And when one of us get tired, we tag in. But anyway, I didn't get to make it. And for the last couple of years, me and Sean, when we talk and stuff, I always have been a fan of his physique and his conditioning. We kind of started. I think we turned pro the same year. He was a few months before me, and we had kind of the same little rocky start. And then we both kind of found ourselves around the same time. But the difference with us is he has the legs, the lower body that he has is one that I would like to have, and then his conditioning came along almost immediately once he got with Chris, and that's been something that's been developing for me over time. So I said that to say that these last couple of years I've been kind of using Sean as a benchmark for myself, wondering how he look at how many weeks out to kind of gauge where I am, and that really helped me getting ready for the Arnold. Well, first Kevin's show in Poland, and then going into the Arnold this year. And I knew, of course, I was going to have to compete against Kai, and I was scared to death. This was one of the thickest short guys, in the sport. And I just said to myself, man, if I can, stand up there and compete with him, and maybe win a few poses and maybe look good beside him, that would kind of give me, the confidence that I needed to feel that I actually belong. In these top guys that are definitely going to be in the first call out. So with your original question, the answer is I don't care if my name is not mentioned as one of the top guys yet, because I hadn't actually been up there and had a chance to compete yet. You know, but you know, the answer that I should tell you is that yes, my name should be included with those guys. But what I want to do is just, and what I'm praying for, what I'm asking for and pleading for, man, just give me a shot. If you could just put me up there, if you could just put me up there, I'm sure I will do some damage at the show. And I'm doing this for, you know, for the people who love the style of bodybuilding that I love. And you know, I can remember when I turned pro, you know, there was no talk about classic looking physiques. There was no physique division. There was no classic bodybuilder division. And, you know, I like to believe that they came up with these divisions to try to find a place to put me, you know, because I just didn't fit anywhere. But my goal was to try to get the sport to go back to where it was when it was so beautiful and when I fell in love with it. And to see all of these changes being made and then make it wait for these young guys as they begin to develop their physiques. They don't have to try to think and focus, and their goal is, I want to look like Dorian Yates, so I got to look like Ronnie. Now they can, as they develop, they have another look that they can try to achieve, and they can stop there or work on that before they actually ruin their physiques trying to be something else. You know, and for those that have the genetics to be big, they can go for that too, you know? The whole point of it all, and what's so beautiful about bodybuilding is, you know, there's so many different types of us. And we all have something unique to offer, you know, and what I just hope is, and it kind of was disappointing for me because it seemed like coming into the show there was a story about this guy, and him coming back, you know. But what I would like to happen and what I hope happens is that all of us have the opportunity to showcase our uniqueness, because there's somebody here to see each and every one of us, you know what I'm saying? And we all deserve, you know, a chance, and we all, you know, should have the opportunity to showcase ourselves for the fans, you know? Whether we get put in a certain call out or not.
Yeah. All right, so I guess what that means that we should have everybody in the first call out.
Yeah.
Now, talking about
if I'm in the first call out, first of all, if I'm in the first call out, like I might have to take like a 10-second time out, you know, just to like get my shit together. And if Phil bump me or get in front of the line on me, you know. So
but talking about damage,
I got to try to chill.
Talking about doing damage, I see Rami is tearing that Tupperware up here. Let's get to the big man, who he's been talked about for years now as potentially being one of the guys that can potentially beat Phil Heath at his own game. Now, looking at big Rami right here being hungry, Rami, what does Rami feel like here 2016?
Assalamu alaikum. First, I need to say I'm really happy because I stand with one line with the legend, Kevin Levrone, because it's like a dream, you know. And I'm really sorry because I didn't hear Mr. Dennis Wolf here with my line. Yeah. And come back, bro, very fast. Sorry, my English is still so bad. Yeah.
It's very good now, very good. I mean,
and I need to say, 2016, maybe I changed everything. My idea about how can Rami win this year, because last 3 years I'm coming to win and never come to number 7 or number 8 or number 5. Every time I come to win. This year I think I don't like to promise any people like last year, I'm shredded, but you know, I think I can change a lot to make everyone here proud to make every fan from Rami tell this, he can't see something in bodybuilding like this before. That's it.
All right, thank you, Rami. There's no skipping on the Olympia stage, Victor.
I'm gonna skip, man. You know, because it's something that I've been struggling and it hasn't been easy. And nothing up here for any of these guys is easy, you know. Except for a few gifts like 2007 to Jay Cutler. Where are you, man? Yeah, but again, that's the past. You know, it's happened. Right now, I'm just focused on always beating myself from the year before, and you know, I just want to thank everybody in Oxygen for helping me, because I've been trying it on my own. Yeah, thank you. You guys are real family, and you know, when all the bad things happen, everybody from that was close to me just disappeared. You know, they blew in the wind. And they invited me in 09, and finally I said, you know what, let me take this up. You know, it was hard because I do have my kids here, you know, so going away, leave my kids is a sacrifice. Love my kids. I love my kids around me all the time. And very protective of them. And so to leave and go away, and I mean, a week, 2 weeks, a month, it's a long time. So I'm very grateful for that. Also, you know, Steve always telling me, you know what, you're almost there, you're almost there, Steve Weinberger, and he knows I just don't quit. You know, quitting is boring, and just wanted to come back, and it's all about that first call out, and like I said, being under the radar is cool because I did my job, got my weight up, and...
How confident are you now?
I'm always confident. That's the thing. When that wasn't good, you know, I'm always confident. But at the end of the day, it's you always got to have that mindset of, you know, I'm going to do good. You know, you can't. I never told myself I can't do it or anything like that. You know, I've beaten guys at 60, 80%. You know, I never really, you know, I came back after a layoff a year and a half. Being away for a little while, broken arm, and you know, of course I'm a blue-steel behemoth like Rami and New York Pro, but again, you know, these guys were out, these guys were training, and you know, if I could beat guys at 60%, imagine me at 90, it's a big difference, you know. I know I can do it, and that's why I look forward, and my fans, you know, the support of my fans, day in, day out, I mean, I'm grateful for you guys, thank you, and that's what keeps me going.
All right, thank you, Vic. Folks, on a side note, a new Olympia record has been made while we've been here at the press conference. Big Rami is over the 300-pound mark in the last 10 minutes. Keep eating, buddy, keep eating. And he don't slow down. Man, look who made his way to the front row, Steve Kuklo. Steve, congratulations. You made your way from the rookie section last year down into the front row. The King Snake is back. Great year this year. Congratulations. You had it out with another one of the new guys, Nathan Diasha. We're going to get to Nathan in just a few moments this year in California out of John Lindsay's show. Great showing for both of you. Great showing for the next generation that's coming up onto the Olympia stage. Give me the differences between last year and this year in terms of your Olympia experience, the preps, getting involved, in your thought process now that you've got your feet wet on the Olympia stage.
Well, this year is going to be a whole new package. It's going to be the biggest and the hardest I've been. I've worked really hard with my coach, George Farah, this year, and excited to be on the stage, bringing and improving what I brought last year and the years before. You know, the biggest thing I need is to get in the call out with the guys. And Mr. Weinberger's done an amazing job this year mixing it up and getting everybody in the comparison. So if I get that comparison, this will be the best placing to date on the Olympia stage I've had.
Awesome. Rookies, we have...
Hold on. There's one more thing. We talked about this being a family, you know, the IFBB and everything, and Dexter up here is like somebody I've looked up like a father, I guess. So I guess I got my grandfather.
See, you're the father to Steve as Kevin is to you. See that?
We got to keep the family thing going. So I'm the young guy. I'm one of the young guys.
Well, talking about young guys and talking about rookies and Olympia debuts, we have 6 of them this year, Bob. 6 guys, and some of these guys have been on my radar all year and since last year, and I got to mention one right now. I'm going to start with a rookie. Last year he was a rookie. His first show, he won the show hands down in San Marino, went on to win the Lou Ferrigno show, his first 2 pro shows with a victory, qualified for the Olympia this year, already last year, but decided to do more shows and placed 3rd at the Arnold Classic in Columbus. And in my eyes, and I watched this guy very closely, is, in my eyes, the best thing that coming out of Australia ever. Josh Lenatovic. Let me get this right. Josh, winning 2 pro shows, qualifying for this show, as a bigger guy like you, what was the deciding factor for you to keep going and doing like 2 or 3 more shows this year, even though you were already qualified? And what does it mean for you right now to be on the biggest stage on the planet, something that you probably didn't even think of last year?
It's why I did it was, to inspire other people. And, I've been given nothing that God has not given me. He's put me in a beautiful family with a loving mother, a strong father, an incredibly inspiring older brother who started my journey in bodybuilding, my beautiful wife, and my great friends who've shaped and molded my life to know that bodybuilding doesn't just define who I am as a person. And that's what I really want to represent, saying, the king of the gym. That doesn't mean I'm better than anyone. It just means a king should reflect leadership. And we're talking before with Kevin, leading other people, and that's something that I'm really strong and that's really close to my heart, is raising a generation of new people coming up in the gyms, because all of us here are leaders. And even if this is my last Olympia, which I hope it is, and I want to be here for many years, but just to be on this stage, it's incredibly humbling, and I have a platform then to inspire many more people. And that's really, really what's blessed me. I mean, I've had a lot of great mentors with Chad Nichols and Kim, Tony Doherty, these people that have helped mold me and shape me into this sport, because in Australia it has been very hard and there hasn't been many people. But I just want to thank all the fans and everyone that's supported me along the way, and that's what's given me the hope. And that's why I do it, as you said, why I wanted to keep going through the year, even though I'd already qualified. It's to give hope. Like maybe there was someone out there that saw me that hadn't started in the gym yet and just thought, wow, this can guide my life in a certain path, and a healthy living and all those sort of things, and that's why. It
was awesome to listen to your humble side. Now I want to talk to the warrior, Josh, okay? You an IFBB Pro champion. You placed 3rd in the Arnold Classic here. Now, going into the Olympia, which is the biggest show on the planet, whose ass are you kicking from the guys that you already know? I don't want to hear your humble side now. I want to hear the Josh, when you train, who you prepping for, who you know I have to beat in order to go a place where I want to place.
It's cliche, but always have to beat myself. And even if I'm 800 kilos of fat, I'm going to pick myself to win over anyone else.
That's again your humble side.
Over anyone else. No, it's not. It's true. Like, of course I want to win. Everyone wants to win, because...
Do you believe in your heart?
If you win, you have more of a reach to impact lives.
Do you believe in your warrior heart when you train that you can beat guys like Rami, Phil, Sean Roden, Dexter Jackson? Do you believe you can do that?
Yeah,
that's all I want to hear.
I definitely believe in myself and my abilities, and I've made massive improvements and things like that. I don't think I'm better than anyone physically. It doesn't make you a better person, but as a bodybuilder, yeah, I've busted my ass in the gym, and I'm trying my best.
That's exactly what I wanted to hear. Another rookie that just came out of nowhere. I don't even know where you came from all of a sudden. Nathan the Asher from England. Nathan. Great rookie season, start placing right out the bed, ended up winning the show. Give us your thought on being here on the Olympia stage next to all these champions.
First of all, I'd like to thank everyone, for coming and supporting those guys out here. It's an honor, it's a privilege for myself personally to be here. Since I was a young boy, I've wanted this opportunity for a long time. I'd like to thank my family for allowing me to pursue my dream. My other family, Oxygen Gym, for basically pushing that dream and making it happen to what it is. My coach, I'm an escort, and the boss man himself back over there. Without these guys, things wouldn't be possible, But out the bat this year, I think with my training partner, Rolly Winkler, he's inspired me every day. He's a beast, He tells me every day, Nathan, you can do it, you can do it. And with him believing in me, him in the front row there, and being a lot of these guys, and me, myself, personally pushing him on my first show, I believe that, I can beat a lot of these guys. In myself,
You believe you can beat Rolly?
No, I believe so, yeah. I've got to believe it, I pushed him to his limit. I believe in, Rolly, that was one of the best Rollies you've seen, Like Cedric, I bring the aesthetics back to bodybuilding, and that's my goal. I don't want to be a mass freak, I just want to be my ideal body, what I believe. like Kevin Levrone himself, you know. I want to be like this, and I want to pursue my own dream and my own career and leave my own legacy as Nathan.
All right, thank you, Nathan. All right, big country, Dallas McCarver, back at the Olympia last year, your rookie debut. I thought you had a fantastic debut. Personally, I could have had you up 2 or 3 spots even. It's all right, Cedric, we know who you are. You want to keep that, Phil? Sign that for Phil, will you? All right, Dallas, you had a great showing this year. Was it Chicago that you came into? You talk about some buzz in the bodybuilding community. You looked like you put on about 25 pounds of muscle. You came in there, with all due respect to the competition, you blew everybody off the stage, qualified again for the Olympia. You were my pick in our early predictions to basically shake up that top 6 possibly here today, or this weekend I should say. What do you say, Dallas, top 6?
Well, first off, thanks everyone for being here. And it's a blessing to be a part of something like the IFBB. That being said, it seems to me everybody and the damn brother is going to be in the first call out. So I don't know what to say. I mean, I done heard 15 people say they're going to be in the first call out and they want to be this, that, and other. So I mean, you know, at the end of the day, we all bust our tail to get here, and we're going to stack them up and see where it falls come tomorrow.
Where are you going to fall?
I'm going to fall wherever Big Steve puts me.
Dallas, you only 25 years old. You still get away with talking more trash. Come on, don't worry about it.
No, man, seriously. There ain't nothing to talk trash about. It's a blessing, you know. So like you said, I'm 25. Dax is the same age as my daddy. Kevin's older than my daddy. You know.
For real.
No, for real. That's no BS. That's numbers. But you know, yeah. But
numbers don't lie, right, guys?
But no, man. I can sit here and promise everybody in the world, and sit here and, you know, I mean, everybody can make the first call out. Everybody bigger, harder, stronger, faster than they were last year. Whatever, man.
Hey, man.
You know, it's just
we tired of all these daddy jokes.
You know I love you, man. Come on. You like a daddy to me, for real.
Lots of fatherhood here today, Dean.
But no, it's just, you know, we can sit here and talk about it all day, but I'm just ready to get it on. Let's go.
See, that's what I get. See, that's what I get for being a leader with these young guys. I took him and Steve Klukook on my wing. I'm not doing that no more.
Hey!
Too old now.
Hey, I appreciate everything, you know? I'm just saying, it's just, you know, numbers. Numbers don't lie. It is what it is.
All right.
You're the best looking near 50-year-old man on the planet, though.
Hold on. You might got a better body, but I got the younger face.
Dennis, come on.
Just kidding.
You are pretty.
Yeah. All right. Talking about
you got a bigger booty too, Dennis.
No. That's why I'm famous. Talking about another pro debut, a guy that opted out last year because he didn't think he was at that point to do some damage, but decided that he is this year, and it's here to, what is Justin here for? Justin Compton.
Yes, for coming out, and I've actually set this show out 2 years in a row, so I qualified in 14 and 15, and you know, this show is obviously the biggest show on the planet, so when I come here, you know, I don't want to feel like I'm here just to compete. You know, I want to be very competitive. You know, I want to pick and choose my shows wisely, and I wanted to wait. I think I was 25 when I qualified for the first time. I wanted to let my body mature. I wanted to learn a little bit more, so that way when I come here, you know, I can make a statement. Yeah, apparently everyone is going to be in the top 5, but we'll see what happens come tomorrow. That I feel like I've done my homework. I feel like I've played strategy.
You gotta get your own jokes. Don't steal my jokes. You gotta get your own jokes.
What'd you say?
He says you gotta get your own material. He says don't be stealing his material, or he's gonna kick your ass on stage tomorrow.
We'll see. We'll see about that.
That's what I heard.
Hey, the scale doesn't mean anything, man. I know you're 30 pounds heavier, but we'll see what happens tomorrow.
Let me give you a tip, especially you two, because you guys have it's kind of a little like a, you know, why don't we just give us a little preview and just, you know, work that up right here in front of the fans, shut somebody up, in order to create a little bit of hype. We weren't afraid to do that back in the days. I don't know what's going on with you guys. You guys got the new suits, all hot. It's so hot, you guys sweating. I'll take that stuff off and peel off on somebody.
Oh, hang on. I'm sorry, Dallas, what was that? You want to challenge into a pose down right now? What did you say? I didn't catch that.
We're going to pose tomorrow.
That means he ain't ready yet.
Well, he's scared, you know. I mean,
he's still young. That probably
he's young. That's good. Well, Justin, we've heard a lot of comparisons between you and the champ, Phil Heath, in your careers and in your physiques. Very similar physiques, similar structure, muscle bellies. Phil also opting out his first 2 years before taking that Olympia stage. So I think you're in good company there. But we keep hearing about this much wanted first call out. It's been 2 years, so clearly you're done waiting. You're here for business. Can we expect to see you in that first call out?
Yeah, I'm totally expecting to be in the first call out. You know, I did my homework. You know, I'm here. I beat myself up, so I'm ready to kick some ass this weekend.
I like that, D.
I done my homework in school every day and still failed. But that don't mean that Justin will fail. Another rookie right here, Akeem Williams. Also probably one of the biggest guys on this stage this weekend. Akeem, you listening to all this right now? All these guys going back and forth with who's your daddy, who's your daddy, I'm your daddy, I'm everybody's daddy. Okay, so tell us how you feel, man. Come on, what's going on?
I mean, first off, I'm just really excited and happy to be here. You know, it's always been a dream of mine. I remember when I was working as an undergrad counselor, I would actually sit at my computer and put 2 screens up so I could watch Olympia press conference and listen for my boss when she's walking around. So I would just like click the screen back and forth just in case I got caught or something like that. So it's just surreal just sitting up here, you know, like I said 2 years ago, I was pretty much in the audience looking at these guys up here, and it's just an amazing feeling to be up here.
Great to have you here on the Olympia stage, Akeem. Great victory this year, and you qualifying. I know you were working very hard this year to make those improvements, which you did, so congratulations. Pac-Man, welcome back to the stage. Pac, last time we were here, you were anything but humble. You had a whole lot to say to these competitors here. It's been a couple of years since then, so is that attitude still there, or are you down a little bit more humble, or where are you at these days?
It's there. You know, I'm so grateful to be here. I'm so grateful to be back. I love the IFBB, and this little hiatus I had, for those of you who don't know, last time I was here was 2012. This little hiatus I had was completely unexpected. Last time I was sitting up here as a kid, and I thought, you know, I'm going to be on the stage every year. I'm going to be one of the best bodybuilders in the world every year for the next 10 years. And things happen. Life happens. 2 kids, successful businesses, and all of a sudden you go, shit, it's been 4 years and I'm not on the Olympia stage. A lot of things happen, and this prep has been the most amazing thing for me. I'm so grateful, and I just want to say that I fucking love bodybuilding. And I hope that a lot of you love bodybuilding. Sorry to cuss. I have such a passion for it, and this training for this Olympia has renewed my passion, because you know when you have businesses and family, sometimes you lose clarity of purpose, right? You don't have a vision anymore. And be able to train for this Olympia and pay attention to the little details like I used to, and I was always so meticulous and working as hard as I possibly could, really renewed a fire for me, and I hope that I can pass that passion on to any one of you, every one of you, and develop an appreciation for the sport of bodybuilding and what the IFBB allows us to do. So as far as my confidence, Bob, I'm bringing something different. You know, I started getting away from a physique that I liked. And
you finally bring the legs up?
I started getting away from a physique that I liked and started trying to compete against other guys. So I'm trying to, you guys probably noticed a bit of a difference in the last show, and it's still always a work in progress, but it's going to be different. I'm trying to bring it back to something that I enjoy, I like looking at, rather than just trying to compete with the big freaks, because you know, at the end of the day you gotta love what you look like. So I'm very happy with the way I look for this show. I'm very much looking forward to getting on stage and showing you guys what I'm bringing.
All right, thank you, Pat. D, we got the man with the golden smile right down here, William Bonack. Now, William, I'm not here to ask you a question. I'm here to give you some advices. That was in the plural, yes. All right, listen, when you get a call out,
yes,
and you're next to Phil Heath,
yes,
take your dreads and flip them back so it hits him. He really likes that.
I will. No offense, Phil.
Memories.
I love you, Kyle.
Like a bad nightmare, Phil. Coming back.
His are real though.
Wait, is that the biggest diss here tonight?
Yeah, that stuff would hurt, man.
And he's got a whole bunch of them.
He's got a ton of that stuff, man. Like, that would kill me. Do not do that, please. You will never see me again. Like, I get destroyed. No. So some people are like, yeah, do that, man. Hit him with the hair. No. Don't be doing that.
History repeats, huh?
No, but real quick, William Bonac is definitely one of those guys that throughout his prep, I've actually looked at how he trains, how he goes about his business. This is a man that I watched actually in San Marino, actually lose to Josh, and to see how he handled himself in that defeat really inspired me, because he was able to say, you know what, he deserved it. I'm just going to come back better. You can see me in Vegas and I'm going to do damage. And I was like, you know what, that's the type of attitude that you need to have to be a champion, living every day, every rep, every set, every workout, every day to be a better version of yourself. So I'm glad that you're here, my man. You look great.
Thank you.
And you know,
you are getting me emotional, brother.
There's no crying in bodybuilding.
It's just respect when respect is due. And you know, this guy has an amazing physique. I hope he's able to, you know, really bring it so you guys can watch it.
Man, this is some strong words from the champ himself.
I'm speechless, Phil. Thank you very much for
William,
really motivates me, man. Really appreciate this. Thank you very much.
Okay, William, what is this going to do for you now, hearing from the champ how much he praises you, your physique, and your work ethic? What is that going to do? What's your mindset? You got 8th place last year, your first Olympia. You ended up in the top 8. This is something that a lot of people wasn't able to do. I wasn't able to do that in my first Olympia. Now hearing this from Phil, what does that do to you?
This is like Phil's been like, you know, like my idol, just like Dexter.
Like your father?
No, not like my father. I think Phil is 4 years older than me, 5 years, so he can't be my father. So, but first of all, let me say this, because since this is my only chance, I can say something. I want to thank my sponsors. First of all, God for guiding me. I want to thank my coach, New Hill. I want to thank all my friends, all the supporters, everyone here, the IFBB Federation, my friend Dennis Wolf over here. I want to thank all you guys for supporting me, for pushing me, you know, and I just want to say one thing also. I want to say this to your girlfriend, you know. No, I'm serious, you know. I made some mistakes in the past, you know, and I hope you're watching this, and I made some mistakes in the past, and just want to let you know I didn't sacrifice you for this, you understand? So, no, seriously, I mean this.
William, what the hell are you talking about, man?
Was that Kai? No, you guys, no, seriously. You guys are laughing here, ha, bullshitting here, but I'm talking about the mother of my son, you understand? So I don't know what the fuck you're laughing at. No, seriously, you know, I just...
Oh, that's a whole different deal now.
I just want to say something to the mother of my child, who's been so good for me, who's been supporting my ass, you understand? Because of her, I'm here doing this shit, you understand? So I want to thank her, and I made some mistakes, and I want to thank her, sorry for that, and I didn't sacrifice you for this. I'm doing this for all of us to get a better life, you know? So once I'm done, I'm going to come and get you back. Believe me on that.
All right, William, that's what we wanted to hear. And for the record, William, they weren't laughing at that. They were laughing at your strange Brooklyn accent. So.
No, but I was, you know, it's so emotional to me, you know, because this is like since a year I've been like struggling as fuck, you know, because like we separated, we separated, and
that's definitely from Brooklyn.
Listen, I don't know about you guys, you can sit there and act tough, you know, until it happens to you, you know, then you're gonna see what life is, you understand? You know, having the chance you cannot see your son and that kind of shit, you know, then you're gonna see what's life, you know, this shit motivated me, you understand? So,
wow. All right, William, we'll let you get some carbohydrates. DJ, this guy's so important it gave him his own table. Brandon Curry.
Brandon, this is not your first Olympia. Now you listen to all this, and You know, where does Brandon fit in? You qualified several times. You struggled a little bit in the past. This is not, everybody knows, you struggled a little bit with the condition, you know, knowing you're back to the Olympia. What changes have you made in order to change that?
Well, honestly, I'm just surprised I'm here. I don't know how I got here. It's a surprise. So
Cedric said you did 20 shows. That's how you got here this year.
Well, you know, I competed. I love competing. I love bodybuilding. I love experimenting and trying to figure things out. So yeah, I competed a lot. But I'm just happy to be here and blessed to be here. I know Fred Smalls is supposed to be here. Y'all keep me in y'all thoughts and prayers. They had some salmonella poison. Went to the hospital, I guess a week or so before the Olympia. So, you know, everybody didn't make it, so I'm happy to be here.
Have you figured it out?
Have I figured it out? We'll see. You know, what you see one day, you may be happy with. What you see the next day, you may not be happy with. You know how bodybuilding is. So we'll see what we bring to the stage tomorrow. We've been working hard, taking notes, and hopefully we bring a package that, you know, I'll love and everybody else will love it at the same time.
Brandon, there's a lot of talk, a lot of scut about online over this past year. As we've seen you up and we've seen you down. Like you say, it's a different deal pretty much every show. Very difficult to dial that in. But there's a lot of talk out there that perhaps you should think about the 212 division. Now, for the record, you're not anywhere close to 212, are you?
Well, you know, I think, Bob, I think you're right. I think I may try the 212, you know, throwing it in here for a little while. I may go there. We'll see. I'll think about it.
Ah, so you're not as far off as we thought then?
Oh, no. I learned how to suffer this year, so I figure, you know, if I can suffer all the way down there, I may be able to push it down there far. You never know.
Ah, well, that would be interesting, D. When was the last time you saw 212? Is it 8th grade?
I don't even remember.
We've got 6 rookies here today. One's right here.
There's 2 actually.
2, obviously. We're going to get to Michael first. Welcome to the Olympia, Michael.
Thank you. I want to thank God for being here, along with the family coming to see me. You know, it doesn't matter if I take first, 5th, 10th, 15th, or their last. As long as I make a statement, I'll be okay with that. Am I nervous? Of course. My heart beating fast right now, you know. But it is what it is, right? You know, it's going to be an epic day tomorrow, not only for what, but for you guys too. And whatever happens, it happens. And I want to thank all you guys for being here, sincerely.
We have another rookie from the Czech Republic, is that correct? Lucas. Lucas? How do you pronounce the last name?
Osladil.
Osladil. Lucas. First Olympia, you won your pro show last year in Phoenix, if I'm correct?
Phoenix.
So, this is your first Olympia, so now, how did you prepare for this? And I remember you competed in the 212 before. What made you change going from 212 into the open and actually winning your first open show? And how much heavier are you, or how much over 212 are you right now?
First time I competed in 212 was in Toronto in 2012. I won the first contest. So I was at the Olympia in 2012, in the 212. And last time was also in Toronto in the year 2014, and then I decided to move to the open category. And last year was my first time there, and at the second contest, that was at the Phoenix, I won. I got nominated for the Olympia, and I didn't really change many things since competing in 212. I've been working with George Farag since November 2013, and I got good support from Evels Fitness, and I have very good results working with George Farag, because first year I gained about 7 kilograms of pure muscles, and this year about 5 more, so I'm going up all the time with George.
All right, thank you, Lucas. All right, folks, you heard from our panel of Olympians, so it's time to get into the nitty-gritty now. Cedric, what's up?
One thing I was thinking about that I wanted to say, have any of y'all seen that clip on Facebook or YouTube where it had Kevin Levrone doing a pose down with, what's my man's name? The dark-skinned guy, who you and him posed down together, Vince Taylor. And they were posing down together. It was just a 1-2 comparison. And the way those two guys were showing their physiques, you know, they were competing against each other, but they were having fun at the same time and giving a good show to the audience. You know, and I can, you know, just being backstage and talking to these guys and stuff, I can kind of feel a change in the atmosphere as compared to how it has been in years past. Well, you know, you don't have to not like somebody to compete against them and try to beat them. You know what I'm saying? And I think a lot of times with social media and stuff like that, it's just changing generations in general. You know, it's so easy to talk shit and then you safe behind, you know, your keyboard and stuff. But what I hope for us is, you know, I hope that we can, you know, maintain or at least start to develop a little more camaraderie between us. So, you know, like you guys were talking, when y'all go overseas and compete, you know, it was a good time that y'all could have, go compete, go get money together, put on a good show together, you know? And, cause see, you fuck around and bump me or say the wrong thing, and I'm gonna embarrass all of us on stage, and I won't be going to jail, and I won't be able to compete no more. You know what I'm saying? So I just want us to be able to have fun and put on a good show for the team. I'm gonna get you backstage. You know, I want us to be able to have fun. So I hope that you guys actually can enjoy us putting on a show and having fun doing what we do together. You know, I think me and Josh played so much at 2 Arnolds. You know, Steve Weinberg was like almost saying, all right, stop damn playing and get in this pose. You know what I'm saying? But that was a real good time for both of us, and the crowd as well. They enjoyed that. So not saying there's going to be a bunch of playing today, but just speaking in terms of the atmosphere of bodybuilding, you know, everybody wants to see drama and all of this stuff, you know, and once again with social media, you got these unknown people that kind of create popularity for themselves by clowning us. You know, and I can remember when all I had was my magazine once a month, I couldn't think of anything disrespectful to say about any of those guys I seen in that magazine. I loved them, and I was ready for it, you know? So, but now with so much access to us, you see us from the time we wake up, what we eat, what we do all day, you see all of this, and it seems like there's a lot of, instead of appreciating this access that you have into our lives, you get so used to it. It's just like when you got a pretty girl. After a while, she get on your nerves, and then you start not liking her. You know what I'm saying? You got so much access to us that some of these people actually lose respect for us because we're so accessible. So, hey, fix these little chaps on the internet and teach them how to damn be respectful to somebody, you know, that's doing something that they can only dream of doing, you know, because this is our lives. Yeah. And that's all I got to say.
All right, thank you, son. Well, Kevin, you've spent obviously a couple of decades now, so you've had a chance to see back then and now, firsthand and on the Olympia level. How much different was it for you this year, obviously with social media and such, when you made that announcement in Pittsburgh at Jim Manion's show that you were officially going to be into the Olympia? No more talk, no more nothing, I'm getting ready, I will be on the stage. Have you seen a big difference between the 90s and today in terms of fan response on the internet?
Yeah, certainly the negativity comes with the success as well. So you have that you have to mentally get over. I think, like Cedric was saying, they have so immediate access to us that mentally you have to be strong enough to block that out. Thank God that I came through in an era where Dorian Yates was over in England training and I couldn't contact him through social media. I could block myself off in Maryland and go into my zone, and I didn't have to worry about what was going on in the outside negative world, any attacks. When I was training for this Olympia, you know, you do need a part of that social media because that's your platform for advertising nowadays. It's very, very strong. So you have to engage, but you have to engage knowing that, you know, you're covered, knowing that, you know what, this is somebody's opinion, and that their opinion is not going to dictate or affect who I am as a champion. So, first and foremost, every last one of these guys up here on this stage are great champions. Not just an average champion. You have to be a great champion to overcome so many obstacles, whether it's the success that you're dealing with, whether it's the negativity that you're dealing with, going into the gym, training, eating, sleeping for many, many hours. It takes a lot of discipline. So for these guys to overcome, they certainly deserve to be here, and I respect that. And that's the greatest challenge that I saw preparing for this year's Mr. Olympia than when we used to do it. You know, we were protected by the WEDA organization, protected away from a lot of the negativity of social media. There's no protection for these guys. These guys have to somewhat go into that zone, block it out, and get in there and realize that, you know what, I'm here, this is who I really am as a champion, and to continue to proceed forward and propel and come out victorious through all that. So it's a lot different. It's a lot different nowadays.
Well, Kevin, we interviewed last night at the Athletes Check-In. I asked you what was the main difference you've seen between yesterday and today in terms of the competitors. You said, I don't see as much sunken in faces as I used to back in the day. I'm seeing a lot of full faces, round faces. I asked Phil about that comment a little bit later. Phil said, "This ain't no face contest. I'm as pretty as ever."
I was just about to ask this question to Kevin, because this is a personal question for me to you, Kev.
Yeah.
And this is not, I'm not going to ask you what is the real reason for you to make this comeback. The question that I have for you is, what do you think was the better era? Who do you think were better? The guys, the top 10 in the 90s compared to the top 10 today? Who do you think were the better bodybuilders?
I think, you know, again, these guys nowadays, these guys deserve and earn the position to be here as champions. So I'm not going to say they're better champions or we were better champions. I can only compare to the conditioning. I believe that the conditioning certainly has suffered from the last time that I competed and through the 90s. There was a reason why Steven Weinberger said, you know, control your gut. There was a reason why, you know, Arnold Schwarzenegger said, he came out, we have to do something about this. And again, you know, one of the guys said, size doesn't matter. It's about shape, conditioning, and the beauty of the sport. And if size didn't matter, like Flex Wheels said, elephant would be king of the jungle, but he's not. So I believe that we got to get back to what this sport was built on. It was certainly built on the beauty, aesthetics, pleasing physiques, and something that's pleasing to the eye, something that captivates the human eye and make you want to be like that person. I mean, I saw Lee Haney, I was like, it was just beautiful the way that he moved on stage, the way that he posed. You can communicate through your posing if you have the proper physique to do that. And I think this is what we're lacking today in this sport. And this is one of the reasons, and I saw an opportunity to come back and I saw something that was so much a part of who I was that was missing, and that's one of the reasons why I want to come back on stage. So Robin allowed me to come back on stage, present this package of what we had back then to compare it to what we have now. Not saying that Phil is not a great champion, because he is, or any of these guys aren't great champions, because they all are. Dexter came from that era, you know, and I certainly know that, you know, Dexter's probably down a few pounds now than you were last year. I don't know if you were. I'm talking about ripped and conditioning. Maybe, maybe not. But at the end of the day, it's about size, shape, and symmetry, and having a V-taper. That's what I believe.
Phil Heath, do you need a sunken face to prove that you're in shape on stage?
I think we all have sunken faces, and especially the day of the show. Yeah, especially compared to 2 months ago. We all were fat and happy, but, you know, I think it's... we all look like Krispy Kreme probably 3-4 months ago, but, you know, you want some? We'll get some on Sunday. But to answer the question, I mean, I definitely feel that it's a visual indication while we have our clothes on that this guy is serious. But there's going to be a lot of guys that have a sunken in face that do not win. It's going to be based on everything that everybody said, the size, the conditioning, the proportion, the separation with the muscle, the micro striations, like all this crazy detail that people are like, I didn't even know that, like, what is that muscle on this anatomy chart? That does not exist, that type of conditioning. And that's what real bodybuilding really is to see something that you've never ever seen in a beautiful format. And you know, all these guys have special body parts. It's going to be the person who has the least amount of flaws that wins.
Well, Phil, you've taken some heat over the last couple of years. A lot of the fans thinking you did not come in at your best, that we haven't seen your best since 211 or 212. I know it's been a personal mission of yours this year to prove to yourself, if not your fan base, that you will see the best Phil Heath this year since 11 or 12. Your feelings on that?
I just can't wait. I just can't wait. That's it.
Is this your best since, well, actually, let's go back to that. What is your best year in your opinion?
2011 was pretty freaking crazy. You know, really hard, really dry. 2012, you know, I came in a lot more dense, and you know, it was a different package. 2013, I thought it was kind of a combination. You know, it was a first round knockout at Prejudging. I mean, I walked in there, did my job, and left. You know, last couple of years just wasn't necessarily better than any of those years, but it was good enough to win. Anything that people will realize, like in the sport of bodybuilding, you could look at from Lee Haney to Dorian Yates to, you know, 8-time Michelin Olympia Ronnie Coleman, and even Arnold Schwarzenegger. There's going to be certain years that are more favorable to fans than other years. It's just the way it is. However, they did win. They found a way to win, and it was who they were standing next to at the same time. My job was to be a better version of myself each rep, each set, each workout, every day. That was it, simple as that. Eliminate all distractions, eliminate all negativity. Be a fan of the sport and excite myself day in and day out. Say whatever I have to say to get myself on that damn cardio at 5 a.m. We don't want to do that stuff, but I did it. Training at altitude, living in Denver, Colorado, anyone that knows about altitude training, it is hard. But I got my ass up and I stayed there. I didn't travel as much. I was very focus driven. My girlfriend cooked every 99.9% of my meals. Thank you, baby. I really appreciate it. You know, I had a great support system, and I found that I wasn't satisfied with how I looked, even though I won. And any champion should think like that. Every champion should never be satisfied with how they looked. I'm not going to be complacent. I hear everything on social media because I am very active and I get kind of bored when I'm doing that cardio. But, you know, I started reminding myself, are you having fun with this stuff? You've won 5 times. Are you having fun? And I was like, I'm allowing people to take the fun away from this with this whole social media garbage. And I started realizing, you know what? I'm just going to be positive. I'm just going to have fun every day. I'm going to focus on everything. I want to smile more, and I'm just going to kick the living crap out of myself every freaking day, every rep, every set, every workout at a damn time. And I'm able to do that. So I plan on being the best I've ever been. I feel really good, and I'm having a very controlled aggression right now because I don't want to mess this one up.
Now, after the announcement was made in Pittsburgh that Kevin is coming back, this is especially for, like, you know, the top 5, top 6 guys last year. Listening to all the, you know, the fans and the media outlets and, you know, all the talk that's been going on about Kevin coming back. How can he come back? He's 52 years old. Some media outlets predicted Kevin to win the whole show. Now, what does that do to guys like Dexter, Phil, Sean, Rami, and everybody when you train? Do you think about, damn, Kevin is coming back? Are you guys worried about a guy that competed in the 90s that hasn't been on stage in 13 years and decides to come back at 52 years when people say he's going to beat Phil Heath, he's going to beat you guys? What does it do to you? What do you think? Is that on your mind at all, or do you believe that there's no possible way Kevin can come back and mess with any of us?
I think Kevin's a great champion in his time. You know, I mean, only time will tell, and we get to see it tomorrow night, and Friday, Saturday night, we'll be able to see what he looks like. You know, I give him great respect for being able to, you know, make that commitment. Because to make a commitment just to do a bodybuilding show is one thing. Making a commitment to do the damn Olympia after that long of a layoff takes a lot of balls.
Did it worry you in any way that Kevin is coming back?
I was more concerned with not being satisfied with how I had looked over the past couple of years. You know, I've been more concerned about how I look. You know, at the same time, it's hard for some people to get the mentality or understand my mindset because they're not living in this skin. If you've been champion for 5 years and you're going to concern yourself and overly concern yourself with people, other people. You're distracting yourself from your own goal. I cannot be losing sleep over people because I need to get sleep. I need to do what I gotta do. It would be no different if you're getting ready for a test. You're getting ready for an exam and you're worried about the guy that is placing, you know, 95% next to you. You're placing 95, 97% on these exams. I can't do nothing to this person. He or she is gotta focus, they gotta study, they gotta do their thing. I gotta do my thing. It's not boxing, it's not basketball, it's none of this stuff. I gotta do my thing. If I'm the champion, yeah, I respect everybody's hard work ethic. I mean, hell, it does motivate me because hell, we're all brothers in this because we all love what we do. It is inspiring to go online and be like, man, this guy's killing it, man. This guy, man, wow, I wish I could lift that much, or wow, like this guy's looking really good. But at the end of the day, I would be stupid to be 5-time Michelin Olympia, overly concerned with myself, getting scared. I'm a grown-ass man. I'm not gonna be scared of a damn thing. If anything, I'm gonna be scared of myself, of what I can do, and not put barriers and walls up in front of myself, having that fear in my mind of somebody else. That is not a champion's mindset. That is not the way that I live my life. I want the best for myself every single day, and I cannot, nor will I not, concern myself with other people.
All right, good answer, Phil. As the old adage goes, there is no defense in bodybuilding.
You know, nobody's going at each other right here. It feels good. It feels really good to me. So, and I didn't know what to expect coming here. I didn't know if everybody's going to attack me or everybody's going to jump on me or start beating me or punching me or whatever. But the love that I feel, I mean, it's unbelievable. So, you know what? I think the sport's in a great position, and I want to say thank you guys for all the respect that you've shown me through this process.
Next to you, you share those sentiments. You're not worried about dear old dad here, are you?
I got two different answers. Political and the truth.
Give me the truth. Nobody wants political.
I'll do political first. Kevin coming back is awesome.
Not the truth.
And I think it's really good for the sport. Really. But, I mean, let's be real. I was whooping Kevin before he retired. Now, I've been competing for 17 years, and for a person to take 13 years off and train for 6 months, that's not, I wasn't worried at all, to be honest. Now, if Kevin took like 3 years of training, then we could talk about 6 months. Come on, man.
Dexter, you want me to take my stuff off?
That's what we want to see. Take your shit off.
Hey, this is your moment now,
Hey, we can go right now, most muscle.
See,
you ready?
I want to let you guys know.
Dexter, are you ready?
Hang on a second.
Come on, Kev.
I see a challenge coming on right here, folks. What do you say, Dex?
Look, I don't know if you guys know, but I try and be serious, but that really wasn't biggie. I look up to Kevin so much, man, to be honest with you. I'm just worried about me and myself, and that's it. You know, I put in the work. I pushed Phil to the limit last year, and I'm gonna win this year. You can believe that. Write that shit down right now.
Dexter's gonna win this year. He said, write it down, champ. What do you say? Phil, you got the last word.
It took him that long to say that. Why didn't you just say that at the beginning? I came here
because we're finishing the show now.
I came here with what Phil's ass and we'll go home.
Well, Phil, I had to say something. It took you 30 minutes to talk.
Sean Roden, is Dexter going to beat Phil this year? I mean, I had to talk with you the other day. You give us the truth too. Don't be political at all.
You don't want me to take my jacket off, bro.
Well, I don't want you to, but I guess everybody else here wants you to.
You're gonna wait until Friday night. I think everybody pay.
Well, Friday is only one day away. If you're not in shape today, you won't be in shape tomorrow.
That's a good point.
You gotta give them what they pay for. They pay to see every single competitor.
They got their tickets right now, all of them. They were scanned when they walked in here.
Well, Sean, let's get.
Hey, Sean, come on, I'll go with you.
Sorry,
it's not like you've never been here and you're still nervous.
Yeah, come on, Sean. Let's see what you got.
I'll take my shirt off if you take yours off.
Well, listen, Kevin,
I would definitely take my shirt off if he takes his off. I'll peel down to the skin.
I want to see that just to see DJ. That was Sean Roden.
Hey, Kevin.
Hey, Kevin's got an open challenge to any of you Olympians. Anybody want to go toe-to-toe right now? Any takers? Nobody wants no part of the muscle machine.
Anybody want to challenge me? Come on now. I'll take any one of you guys.
Hey, Kevin.
With donuts and everything.
I won your show in Poland. Remember I ruined your dress shirt?
You look good.
So I think I owe you one. I owe you one.
Yeah, you did. Tell them that story.
Let's go. I'll do it with you.
Who wants to see it? Cedric versus Kevin.
Okay, most muscular?
Yeah, I got you. Wait, don't do the most muscular from the side though, because I can do that. That's the one that look.
All right, hey,
the one that look most muscular.
Who wants to pose down right now? Anybody?
We're doing from the front.
Kevin Levrone, center stage. Cedric McMillan, center stage.
Let's go see the most muscular from the back.
I got the king of the gym coming now.
Go get him, Josh. All right, we got a little competition going on, y'all. All right, now, come on.
Anybody else want to get up there? Come on, Dex. Yeah, that ain't happening. Folks, that's going to wrap things up this year for the Olympia. I appreciate everybody for coming out here today. Tonight, folks, meet the Olympians right here at the Orleans up there, 7 o'clock.